Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Lenovo ThinkPad P17. Now, when Lenovo reached out asking if I was interested in reviewing this workstation, it was kind of ironic because I'm currently shopping a machine just like this. However, I will say the P17 I'm about to share with all of you is arguably one of the most powerful and also expensive devices of its kind on the market. So this build retails, I think, for a little over 4,000 US dollars. It has a 17-inch UHD display, an Intel 8-core Xeon processor. It's the W10885M, 32 gigs of DDR4, 3200 RAM, a half terabyte NVMe drive, and one of the most impressive things, an Nvidia Quadro RTX 5000. So if you're looking for something that's going to be graphics intensive, we're talking about rendering, we're talking about video editing, photo editing, you don't need this type of horsepower, Autodesk Suite performance, you architects out there, 3D designers, this is the type of machine I feel like many people dream about. So let's get this thing out. The first thing I'm going to grab is, actually, it might be easier to just flip this over because this thing is a beast, is the power brick. And the power brick, I believe, is 230 watts. And, of course, you know, you might be assuming already, well, this machine's not going to get any battery life. But Lenovo is claiming between 9 and 14 hours of battery life on this monster. So we'll see. I mean, in my opinion, if you're able to get somewhere around 8 hours, that is going to be an amazing number. And remember that RTX 5000 is just a game changer for anyone who actually needs that sort of performance. So let me go ahead and pop off this piece of styrofoam. I mean, this machine is just so big, and if you are a fan of ThinkPad design and, of course, durability, basically some best-in-class overall capability when it comes to, you know, the testing that it goes through, military-grade quality, I mean, you're about to get it here. So, remember, as I stated, this is a big machine. You're looking at, it is a little under 8 pounds. Let me go ahead and get all of the setup guide and everything else out of the way. I mean, this is just a monster if there ever was one when it comes to a laptop. So, here we go. Wow, wow, wee, wow is all I can say. It is thick. It is matte in terms of finish. I believe the display is matte as well. I'm not positive on the color accuracy on the display, but I think it's about 500 nits. But I am expecting good things because, as I've stated, this is a workhorse. I mean, in order to really end up pushing this, you're going to have to push pretty hard. I mean, this is essentially a high-end desktop workstation crammed into a 17-inch notebook chassis. So, first thing you're seeing here on the left side, and I'm trying to see what you're seeing as well, it looks like we've got HDMI out, not looks like, it is, Type A USB, that looks like a SIM card slot, a headphone microphone combo jack, and then as we come around, nothing on the front. Come to the right side, we have a full-size SD card reader, 2 more Type A USB ports, and then on the back, that's where the real action is, so to speak, because, of course, Ethernet, we have 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, the power adapter, and yet another Type-C port. So, really big machine, access to the internals right there. Again, this build has 32 gigs of RAM. I believe they go all the way up to 128. And I think the RTX 5000 is where things top out when it comes to the GPU. This is the first gen of the P17. There's also a P15, but I can tell you right now, if I was in the market for one as big and as heavy as this sucker is, this is a desktop computer, again, in a laptop form. So, already you're greeted by what probably is something you expected, which is a ThinkPad keyboard, touchpad. You do have your left and right mouse click buttons, as you may or may not have expected. Power button right there. Let's see if we have power. Of course, backlighting on the keyboard. Numerical pad, speakers right across the deck here. The UHD display is a matte finish. Windows Hello is supported. There is also a privacy switch right here. And this is just a monster of a machine, I have to tell you. I mean, it makes you feel like, you know, if NASA was going to want to throw a laptop into space, this would be that machine. Yes, the bezels are thick, the build is robust, and that is because this is a monster. I mean, again, think about having that 8-core processor in here, up to 128 gigs of RAM, and then a GPU that has, I mean, granted, it's an RTX 5000, but 16 gigs of dedicated video RAM. Fingerprint scanner right here, and it does note right here that it is color calibrated, so X-Rite and Pantone, so I'm expecting really good color accuracy. I can already tell you when it comes to viewing angles, it looks excellent. It is an IPS panel. I will have to get this connected and set up, but this is just the most powerful notebook I have ever not only reviewed, but touched. I mean, this is something that is a marvel of technology. Certainly not for everyone, but if you are again, engineering, architectural, graphic designer, video editor, 3D rendering of any sort, this machine is going to be able to chew up and spit out anything you throw at it. And so I'm very excited to try Adobe Premiere on here, Vegas. I mean, I'm accustomed to machines, my desktop included, they can handle it, but I think this is going to set a whole new standard for expectations. So again, while it is large and in charge, no touch screen, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, that's not what a machine like this is about. In fact, I'm glad it even fits on camera. This thing is seriously thick. And if it does get that battery life, I mean, right now, what is it saying? It's saying 2 hours and 19 minutes, but, you know, I'm hoping we can see somewhere between, again, 5 and 8 hours, depending on how you tweak things, because I don't think the 9 to 14 is realistic. We all know that those numbers are they're not synthetic, but they're based on, you know, just essentially being on, not being really put under load. I'm expecting thermals to be fantastic because, after all, this machine is huge. The keyboard, I mean, it's ThinkPad. You know, it's Lenovo. If that's your jam, you're going to be happy with it. In fact, you may be in love with it. So I'm just excited to share this with all of you. Yes, other people have put the P17 out there. They've ordered it. I don't blame them. But to my knowledge, this is the first one on YouTube to have that RTX 5000 under the hood, as well as the 8-core Xeon processor. I mean, this is just, I'll say, one of the things that dreams are made of. You know, this isn't really meant to be carried and taken around town, but the point is it can be. So even though you've pretty much got a desktop that weighs in at a little over 7.5 pounds, listen to what I just said, a desktop. I know it's a notebook, but the performance you're getting here, that is more powerful than the majority of high-end desktops on the market. So really excited to start testing this thing out. I'll let all of you know, of course, in an update, what performance is like. This is the ThinkPad P17. This is the most powerful notebook I have ever seen, touched, or, of course, am about to review. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.